And they're off. Alright, now anyone's ever seen a zero-mission speedrun before, so start's gonna be pretty standard. Get your morph ball first, and they're gonna be heading straight to the missiles, and then the bombs.
I had my microphone on mute the whole time.
It's alright, I feel
alright
for you there.
Yeah, I was wondering why I was just talking, and then you just started talking as if I wasn't saying anything. Okay. That makes a lot more sense. So here we're getting the first hint statue of the game, and I believe it's the only one, unless I don't believe either of these racers do early Brinstar. JRP I know does late Brinstar. I think nulldriver does as well. JRP having a pretty strong climb already.
I think in most cases it's a pretty safe bet that most of the racers in the tourney are going to be doing late Brinstar unless we're out for surprise.
Yeah, but I think we'll be seeing a lot of late Brinstar in the earlier stages. I know a lot of the really top level runners will do late Brinstar, early Brinstar. Like I know Fangs, Dragon Fangs even. Dragon Fangs, Eagle, I think Mobius Man, and Halsma will all be doing late Brinstar. JRP gets a double on the second round there. So
it looks like Null got one as well.
Oh, nulldriver gets the spikes though, so his missile count is going to be good. JRP has a very low missile count at the moment.
Oh, it's be interesting to see how he handles the hive room then.
Yeah, he's probably just going to shoot one missile at the first hive, and then just kill it with beams, which is going to take a bit of time. So that's unfortunate for him. It gives nulldriver a bit of an opportunity to catch up. Looks like JRP's having some bad luck with the bugs there. But he's through the first hive, so he should be good. Nulldriver's coming into it now. He should tear right through this next hive.
For a lot of people starting out on the runs, each of the hives takes 3 missiles and 2 shots, so missiles are really tight at this early on in the game.
Yep, and JRP is through the hive room, no issues, minus the little bit of the missile count. Nulldriver shoots a missile into a bug and gets knocked back. That's very unfortunate. So he's going to have to take a bit of time to kill this hive, but he's through it. And JRP is coming up to the bombs now. So I see something about the double in the chat. The double's not something that's incredibly consistent outside of like the top handful of runners. JRP coming up with a 3:26 bombs time. It's a little higher than I would expect from him, but it's certainly totally workable.
It's probably just because of the missile shortage going to the hive room, lost him those 2 seconds.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. The missile shortage was an unfortunate incident, but he can easily work with them. He can still get a very good time with that. So now he's coming up to the first major RNG component of bugs. And he gets one that's a little out of the way there, and he's through it. Not too bad. We'll see what kind of bug luck nulldriver gets. And you'll notice that JRP is going to be going for missile drops here, which is why the fact that he's missing 6 health is important, because that's going to seriously hurt his chances of missile drops. Nulldriver gets the troll bug. Bug just stuck up in the ceiling. There it is. That's unfortunate. So nulldriver, I'll be seeing, yep, he's going to be going for late Brinstar as well, so we don't have to worry too much about routing differences here. It should be fairly easy to see who's ahead and who's behind. So JRP is just going to be grabbing a couple of missile packs in Brinstar before heading down to Crate, same with nulldriver. So JRP using a missile on that deemer there, and interesting decision considering how tight his missile count is right now. Maybe killing that guy with a missile again. A little interesting, but he probably doesn't want to waste too much time farming for missiles here. The reasoning for that is that there's a much better farming spot right before Acid Worm. So let's see. Nulldriver's got a fairly strong missile count here. JRP taking a really safe strat and going back for a refill. That is not something I was expecting to see.
And then he doesn't grab that Brinstar E-Tank early either.
No, it's slightly faster to grab it later, and it's, for a runner of JRP's caliber, it's really not that big of a deal to get it later. JRP coming into crate at 5:54, which is really not that bad. Really anything under 6 minutes is a pretty strong time. So we'll see nulldriver omitting the refill and also not grabbing the E-Tank.
Point out that you're going to be seeing a lot of interesting use of bombs and wall jumps in the crate, because normally in the game, if you're playing it casually, at this point you have the power grip that you grab in Criteria. But the runners have not gone down to Norfair and Criteria to get that yet, so they're going to have to be doing some shenanigans with bombs and wall jumps.
JRP opts to just stop and kill those bugs despite having 39 missiles. Might have just been muscle memory at that point, or he was just taking health. Oops, unfortunate wall jump there. I wouldn't expect. Oh, okay. I was about to say I wouldn't expect either of these two to have too much trouble with bomb jumping, but JRP gets through the diagonal, no problem. Neither of these runners have the volcano disappear on them. That's good. Nulldriver opting for the straight double bomb jump up rather than jumping off of the platform. Killing the bug, presumably opting for an extra missile drop for a little more safety. I wouldn't expect JRP. Yeah, JRP doesn't farm the bugs. Wouldn't have expected that. Ooh, nulldriver missing his wall jump.
He's got a strong missile count coming to Acid Worm, though. He should be fine. No problems.
Yep. JRP should not have any issues with missile count at this point. Nulldriver. We'll see if nulldriver could potentially farm. Ooh, JRP has an unfortunate positioning incident.
Should still be fine, though.
He should still have enough, but yeah, and those drops are not the best.
Yeah, Acid Worm takes 30 missiles, and normally you want to have, I want to say, is it around 10 when you finish, so that way you don't need to do a lot of farming on your way to the next big missile sink.
Exactly. If you have 10 after that, you don't need to farm any extras. Nulldriver takes a few missiles there, but he's got more than enough, and he gets the positioning just fine, so we'll see how his missile drops are. Oh, very good. Nulldriver is perfectly good for missiles. JRP is gonna want to pick up a couple more. So let's see how he opts to handle that. There's a couple of places where he can farm pipe bugs, or if all else fails, he can always grab a few from the
I'm having a little bit of trouble getting into that tunnel.
Yep.
Yeah, the next thing they're going to need missiles for is they're going to need about 20 for a couple of the giant side hoppers on the other side of Kraid, and that's where they're heading next.
Yep. I'm not surprised JRP opted to kill those bugs. But 18 is perfectly fine, because odds are really good you get a drop from the side hoppers. Goes for a diagonal, gets it no problem, which again, I wouldn't expect him to have any problems with that. Nulldriver also farming a missile drop. So now JRP, we're going to see him come up to fight the giant side hoppers. Nulldriver, no issues with the diagonal. JRP does get his missile drops from the side hopper, so that's good for him. And was that me stuttering, or was that the restream stuttering? Nulldriver playing it a little safe there with the giant side hopper.
I don't see any stuttering, but let me reload just to be safe.
Okay, well I guess that's just my internet, and I'm sure we all remember how good my internet is. JRP coming up into the most boring room in the game. Basically, you just go through these. Unless you're Dragon Fangs. If you're Dragon Fangs, you do fancy strats in this room. Oh, JRP did not blow up that last thing, but fortunately the Rippers are in a good position for him to...
Nope.
I was going to say he could have done a JBJ there, but he opted for the double bomb jump. I think that wound up costing him a bit. But nulldriver, let's see what he does. He looks like he's going to be trying to play it safe and just take the ball cannon, even though he is the Rippers in a great position for the bomb jump. The bomb jump is a little faster there, but I don't blame him for wanting to play a little safe there. And JRP sets up for refill glitch on the unknown item. Doesn't quite get it.
So close.
It's a very, very tricky refill glitch to get.
That one is actually frame perfect, isn't it?
I'm not 100% sure how tight refill glitch is. I just know that this one seems to be... This one, from my observation, seems to be harder. JRP having some difficulty with the slugs there.
You know, there's an easier setup for it once you get the ball jump, but
yes,
this method is definitely harder.
Yeah, see JRP how he goes through side hopper room. Looks like that was pretty good. Only
that's pretty solid.
Once. Yep. nulldriver hot on his heels.
Both coming on to Kraid, who Kraid could change things around depending on how the luck goes with that.
Yep, Kraid's the hardest boss in this category to do well. He's not hard to kill. He can be hard to kill quickly. Oh, nulldriver misses the block. JRP shooting everywhere but Kraid's health at the moment.
Doing fine. Got a nice little dinner there.
Settling for a got knocked off. That's unfortunate. Oh, looks like he miscounted. Hopefully saved a bit. nulldriver having an excellent first round on Kraid. And nulldriver getting the 2-round Kraid, which is very, very good.
And some time on JRP with that one.
Yeah, for sure. This has been quite a Kraid from nulldriver. Kraid area. Also Kraid boss, but Kraid area too.
Boy, JRP, oh boy, now we can properly start going fast because we have the speed booster.
Exactly. Why would you not pick up the speed booster in a speed run?
Numerousing up the speed booster is actually, if I'm not mistaken, the main reason why in 100% you go to Kraid first, because it lets you do a lot of the get a lot of the Norfair items before cleanup, right?
Yeah, exactly, because it lets you grab the Criteria super missiles early, so that opens up a fair bit of stuff in Norfair. So now JRP playing it a little safe by dropping onto the platform. nulldriver.
Null takes a ball.
I didn't see what happened to nulldriver there.
He tried to grab the rail and he missed it. He fell down into the room below.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
That's going to cost him quite a few seconds there.
JRP gets the speed jump to the E-tank. So nulldriver taking the slightly riskier move of... No, it's not slightly riskier, you just shoot and hold left. Going directly onto the ledge instead of. JRP's out of Kraid at 13:23, which I'm sure is not a time he's particularly happy with. He's usually, a runner of his caliber is usually going to be gunning for like a 12:50 or so. nulldriver was having a very strong Kraid until that happened. So that was an unfortunate error. It's one of those that he's probably going to be planting his face right in his hand over.
It would be unfortunate if it all ended up coming down to that, but there's still a lot of race left and a lot of tricks that in trouble. So,
yep, there are a lot of run to go, and now that we have speed booster, the hard part has just begun. Well, I mean, not really, but Norfair isn't too bad. JRP bomb jumping up to the E-tank, no trouble. Norfair does have a couple of items that can give you trouble, but it's not too bad. The real wall in this category is Ridley.
Oh, absolutely.
Probably the hardest area.
There are some very tricky shine sparks you do in Ridley if you want to have a competitive time, and even just to do it normally.
Yeah, even casually, Ridley's got a lot of, well, not a lot, but several very tough item puzzles. And JRP is going to be going for, JRP is going to be going for all the fast strats. I'm imagining nulldriver will be for the most part as well. So it's going to be a very, very high risk area for both of these runners.
And we saw JRP just picked up the charge beam there, which the worm they both fought a long time ago dropped, but rather than wait for it to die and drop it, they just decided to come back later because it's a lot faster than waiting.
Yeah, and it doesn't do anything for you in Kraid, so no real reason to wait for it.
Yeah, to be honest, the Charger doesn't do much of anything for anybody aside from occasional pseudo screw attacks. It's pretty garbage in this game compared to Fusion, especially.
It really is. In my opinion, the best use of Charge Beam is to make getting the Shine Spark missile in the heated room in warfare significantly easier. But there's a few spots where pseudo screw attacks are really nice, but since we pick up screw attack fairly early on in this run, it's not actually that important. So JRP up to Criteria, nulldriver down in Norfair. So this is going to be, we're coming up on the first real speed booster trick of the run here, where JRP will be grabbing some super missiles a little earlier than was intended, as well as another unknown item. So this Shine Spark trick, it's fairly costly if you mess it up. So this could present another opportunity for nulldriver to catch up if JRP has an unfortunate incident.
Yep.
But again, JRP is a very good runner. I wouldn't expect that. Oh, look at that! I wouldn't expect that, and yet here it is. That's okay though. If you're gonna screw it up, that's the place to do it. Right at the beginning.
Now that the chain of the two sideways Shine Sparks, and it looks good.
Yeah, it looks pretty good to me.
And
so
he gets
JRP's got his early super missiles. Now, if nulldriver gets that cleanly the first time, that'll catch him up a little bit. Oh, having a little difficult. Nope, looks like he got the JBJ, but having a little difficulty with his platform. JRP missed the mouth there, it seems.
Ooh.
Nulldriver, that looks. Yep, that was good. Thought that might have been a little too low, but.
Dropped a wall jump there. I'd been in trouble, but he pulled it out.
Yep. Nulldriver getting the super missiles without too much trouble. So he's caught up a little bit of time on JRP there. We'll see JRP going for a double bomb jump here. I wouldn't expect him to have much trouble with this either. And
nice clean escape from the hole there.
Nice and clean. Looks like he got up before the pillars even finished rising, so that's a pretty good double bomb jump from him. Nulldriver going to be attempting the same thing here, while JRP makes his way back down to Norfair. Nulldriver opting for the single bomb jumps. Not quite as fast, obviously, but significantly easier.
And the key is just to make sure that you're going up faster than that one claw, because if you're too slow, the claw will push you out of whack. It's happened to me before I learned how to do the double bomb jump, and it's very frustrating.
Yeah. Yep. Because that claw has a platform that appears in it. And if you don't get the bomb jump, the backup is you just wall jump up until that platform appears, and it loses... I actually forget exactly how many. I want to say maybe 5 seconds or so. So we'll see JRP go for another Shine Spark here. Not really, this one's not really tricky at all, but... that should be fine. I thought he might have been a hair too far to the left there, but no trouble.
Alright. JRP is coming up a couple more rooms, and he's going to be at the Ice Beam, which is the next major power-up we're going to be getting.
Yep, and Ice Beam wasn't actually... Ice Beam, up until, fairly recently, it's actually, I guess it's a couple of years ago now, Ice Beam wasn't actually picked up until after Ridley. Because you don't need it. Well, you didn't need it, but there's a cool little trick we can do with it that we'll be seeing. We'll be seeing that a little later. Once the runners get into it, the JRP gets some good Ripper patterns there.
Taking short work of that room.
Yep, absolutely. JRP moving through the top of Norfair very nicely.
And he's coming up on the first of the heated rooms.
Yep, the heated rooms are what make Norfair probably the most dangerous part of the run. And JRP is... having an unfortunate time trying to kill that.
He's not the best good with the missiles there.
Fish thing. Nulldriver taking a quick little dip in the lava. So now JRP is going to be making his way down further into the depths of the Norfair. It looks, I'm thinking, actually he's still got pretty good health, so he could very well decide to try and heal at Screw Attack. It's a slightly riskier option in some ways. Oh no, wait, I forgot about this room though. So we're probably going to be seeing JRP heal at high jump.
Yeah, I mean his bomb jumps are completely on point, but it's that there's a series of heated rooms after high jump that JRP is very costly to die in.
JRP is going to have about 200 health, which 200 health is iffy for Screw Attack heal. This could be another huge thing if JRP misses this. I don't think I've ever seen him do it. Yeah, no problems from JRP for that missile. That missile is the John Stratz missile because I miss that missile all the time.
Well, it makes you feel any better. I don't think I've ever actually gotten it before cleanups, so...
Yeah. Alright, so we'll see. I imagine we're gonna... Yeah, with 187 health, JRP is definitely going to be healing at high jump. He's probably going to be setting up for another refill glitch here. Yep, oh, wow, I thought he had that. Nulldriver also gets the missiles, so... No problems from either. We won't be seeing that missile pack during cleanup for either of them. Nulldriver is up. Oops, sorry, go ahead.
I was about to say, both races have been having very good execution, just JRP's is just a little bit better, and you can see that in the fact that he's just ever so slightly staying ahead.
Yeah, I think we'd be having a very close race if it wasn't for that incident with the zip line. JRP playing it a little safe with the bomb jumps there. We're probably going to be seeing him jump over this side hopper. Yeah, absolutely. If you want to play real risky, you can shoot him with 2 supers. Nulldriver also takes the high jump heal. Probably the more standard approach. So JRP getting knocked around by the rocket just a little bit. Opting to just use Ice Beam to get through there. That's not something you don't want to lose too much health here because there's one more heated room coming up. And it's probably the most dangerous room in the game. Nulldriver opting to use the supers. Yeah, Nulldriver opts to use the supers on the giant side hopper, so he's going to have to try and collect a few super drops. And we see JRP set up for a Shine Spark here. I guess just a speed boost. Unless he tries Money Spark, I don't think we'll see that from him. Yeah. Money Spark sparks across the room JRP is in right now, and it saves, I think, about half a second or so. So it's not something too many people will bother going for it. Alright, so JRP's coming up to the most dangerous room in the game. He has a lot of health, so I don't anticipate any issues here, but it's very easy to get knocked into the lava by one of these enemies, and if you get knocked into the lava, this room can go very badly very quickly, but it looks like he's through it, no problems. And Nulldriver will be right behind him coming into that room. Nulldriver has fantastically good health. Did he heal at Screw Attack? No.
No, he didn't.
So.
He had a really didn't get hit by any of the rock rivers that I saw. He's just making really good time heading into that.
Yeah, he's just got fantastically good health, so he should have absolutely no issues with this room. Yeah, you can see he got knocked into the lava there, but
at this point the heated room threat is over. There's one more, but that one takes exactly 45 health, so it's not really a concern.
Yeah, if you take the room a little slow and safe, oh, Nulldriver taking another dip in the ass. But again, his health is so good, it doesn't even matter. But yeah, this room, if you want to play the next heated run safe, it might take 46. But again, there's an E-tank coming up right after it, so it's not a big deal. Now JRP's got the wave beam.
Nulldriver about to get here in a moment as well.
Yep, see neither runner opting for the late wave route, which isn't surprising, given how unreasonable it is. JRP getting the one-round Caterpillar. One-round Caterpillar is surprisingly difficult to do consistently. And he's going to be going down here, picking up a missile tank, and then he's going to be coming up to the Imago Cocoon. And Nulldriver coming right up to the Caterpillars after this heated room, which he's got more than enough health for. JRP clearing the food line room.
Imago Cocoon shouldn't be too bad with just a some wall jumps and nice missile usage, JRP should be through it pretty quick.
Yep, Imago Cocoon, if you're used to any percent, in any percent Imago Cocoon is not incredibly easy, and 100% Imago Cocoon is almost trivial because you have high jump, so it makes it really easy to freeze the Ripper and use that. JRP's into Ridley, sorry. Nulldriver coming up on the Vine Room. And ooh, he runs into the door. That costs him a small bit of time.
Let's see how he handles Imago Cocoon.
Nulldriver doing the more traditional Ripper freezing, but looks like he had some slight issues there with his missiles on the first round, but he rectifies it and he has a pretty strong Cocoon fight.
JRP's moving on to Imago round 2, the more challenging of the 2 Imago fights.
Yeah, hopefully we'll only see Hopefully we'll see the one cycle. JRP says he has an excellent visual cue for when to start shooting, so we'll see if we can make proper use of that.
And he does.
Yep, looks good. The visual cue JRP likes to use for that is he waits till just before the music starts.
Alright, let's see if we can get the Imago Spark, which is a very
not in a good position for it, unfortunately. So we're going to be seeing JRP take the Morph Ball Tunnel, and he shoots a super right into the floor.
Oh no!
That's an interesting strategy. All right, Nulldriver coming up to the Imago. See if we can see a 1 round from him as well. He's a little slow on his supers, so we might be seeing we see Nulldriver going for the backup. Oh, not quite being in the right position for that, so he's got the Imago going around a second time.
Here comes JRP coming up on the ice clip.
Yep, this is why we now get Ice Beam before Ridley, so we can do this.
You freeze those 2 bugs on the same place, then bomb them. The game doesn't know what to do with your Y coordinates and just kind of shoves you down.
Yep. Oh, Nulldriver. Looks like he might be getting a Imago Spark here. Yeah, that looks pretty good.
Andy, that's it. Nice.
Yep, nice Imago Spark from Nulldriver there. JRP looks like he fell down a little bit there in the puzzle room, but he managed to save it. Yes, the joke about the visual cue is JRP saying that one time. Looks like Nulldriver's going for a couple super drops there. So now JRP opting to play it safe and spark straight up there. I can't really blame him. And he successfully skips the map room. You can spark diagonally out of there and save yourself a little bit of time. Nulldriver should be good there for the ice clip. Yep.
And you'll see them occasionally trying to get the super missiles because they're not going to take the refill before Ridley, but super missiles will definitely make killing Ridley faster. So they're hoping for drops on the way there.
Ooh, Nulldriver miscounts his missiles a little bit. JRP going for the second 2 puzzle rooms, which are going for the diagonal. Gets it. Close. Nice. We got it. Oh, Nulldriver. Oh no, wait, no, he's on the way out of the puzzle room. Sorry.
And he's going to go for the diagonal. He is, and he falls.
Just a little short of that. That's what makes the diagonal a risky proposition in a race. It's very costly if you miss it.
JRP gets to the first of the 2 puzzle rooms successfully, and he's about to go into the harder of the 2.
Yep, this is affectionately known as the Eagle Room. Or it should be, as of right now.
Yeah, that's what I have it on my splits as. First try gets it.
First try. JRP gains time on the world record here.
Yeah, the joke there being I believe, a 4-frame window to make that jump, and the Eagles' world record run actually misses it once, but still is the world record run, so
yep.
you never have to feel bad about missing that once or twice.
Yep, the late game in Eagles' world record run was absolutely next level, so Nulldriver opts to play this one a little safe with the sideways spark. So JRP's coming up to the last major hurdle in Ridley, where it's possible to lose a serious amount of time. The pillar room. He's about to grab this super pack, and then after Nulldriver gets through the first puzzle room, no problems. After he grabs this super pack, he has to jump over a pillar. If he falls, it's at least a 10-second time loss. And
it's
he gets
definitely
it
a lot
no
less.
problem.
Yeah, nails it. It's definitely a lot more costly than 90% because falling here.
Nulldriver gets the eagle strats. So, Nulldriver definitely. Oh, he does it again.
No!
Not. Yikes! That's not something you want to see. So let's see if JRP can get out of here without the ball cannon.
Third time's the charm.
Not quite. JRP is going to have to take the ball cannon. That's going to cost him a little bit of time. But he's still got a fairly comfortable lead at this point. Although, again, there's still a lot of major stuff left, so that could very well change. Plus, nulldriver skipping the super drop, even though he's only got 4 supers. That's a very bold strategy on his part. I'm not sure if he intends to refill or just didn't see the drop or what. JRP getting the single beam Idor, but he wishes he could get that luck infusion. The joke being that Idor always shoots 1 beam. So JRP is going to be coming up against the second boss, said very sarcastically. If you blink, you'll probably miss the fight. Ridley goes down in like 5 seconds in 100%. Looks like he shot a super into a fireball there, and he turned him around, so this fight's going to be taking a little... Okay. JRP having a little bit of a rough time here. I see something about Long Beam in the chat. Nope, we'll be grabbing Long Beam on our way back through Brinstar. And by we, I mean they. JRP looking for super drops, gets 2 of them. That's not too bad.
Probably be killing the birds in the second to last room before leaving in order to try to get some drops off of them.
That's what I would do in his situation. Nulldriver also having to use the ball cannon, sorry. But we'll see. He could be bold, and now he's not being that bold. He's full on supers. He could have opted to Nulldriver, also full on supers. Wow. Very nice drop luck.
Let's see if Null can gain some time back fighting Ridley then.
Yeah, if he has a clean Ridley fight, he might be able to claw back a couple seconds on JRP here. We're only maybe about, I don't know, 40% of the run through, and there's still plenty of big tricks coming up, although Ridley is definitely the biggest blockade, so for JRP to be getting through Ridley without any major errors is a very nice thing.
Yeah, he had a very strong Ridley.
Yeah, he's probably going to be breathing a fair bit easier for the moment.
Nulldriver gets a relatively quick Ridley.
Yep.
Didn't really missed any supers.
Yeah, and the difference between a good Ridley and a bad Ridley in 100% is 3-4 seconds. So
yeah.
Opting not to color in the top right map tile, that's unfortunately an instant disqualification. So
we'll tell him later, it's fine.
Yeah, we'll let him finish the run just so you guys have something entertaining to watch.
Oh, I think he might have tried to go for the diagonal shot jump through the door strat there.
I don't think so. I think he went back for the drops. I didn't actually see what drops he got off of Ridley. But now JRP is going to be going and doing his Brinstar cleanup. Nulldriver is just going to be grabbing the last missile pack and then making his way back up through Norfair to Brinstar. Nulldriver does the jumpy strat there. JRP goes for Brinstar super. Significantly easier trick in 100% than 90%. This is more or less the intended way of doing it. I see JRP doing the fancy strat there, but he gets it no problem.
Yeah, I absolutely hate doing this trick at any percent.
Yeah, Brinstar super in any percent is a very tough strat to do. But 100%, fortunately, it's fairly straightforward. So now we'll be seeing Nulldriver making his way back up through Brinstar, or Norfair to Brinstar, rather, sorry. JRP coming up to the Varia suit, which he will be deliberately skipping, as there's no need to get it.
Yeah, when the game gives you the gravity suit later, it graciously gives you the Various suit with it, so we don't even have to worry about it. Now he plays the waiting game as we wait for these little bugs to destroy the purple balls.
Yep. Looks like JRP got some pretty good luck there. Looks like my stream is frozen up here for a second. No, I'm just kidding. That bit about the map tile was a joke. So, JRP, nulldriver. Oh, nulldriver jumping a little early to start his spark. That is unfortunate. But it looks like he's... There we go, looks like he's got it that time. So,
alright, and JRP is on his way to Turian.
Yep, that you'll see right there one of the disadvantages about late Brinstar. You're short a super for Torian because you have to use one on that block. So I'm kind of farming there for a super drop. So let's see.
Oh, that's right. I almost forgot. First, he has to stop and get the most powerful weapon in the game.
Yes, JRP is about to become incredibly overpowered because his beam will now shoot across the entire screen.
Ability's so good they wouldn't give it to you from the get-go.
Yeah. No Varia suit is because the game gives you Varia suit when you pick up the fully powered suit. Nulldriver not opting to use any weapon-related strats here, and you can see that's costing him time with the bugs. That's also a bit of a joke.
But just not being team players.
Those were not very good bugs, unfortunately, and now they're right down where he needs to be shooting. And JRP watching the cutscene, thinking he forgot something. I don't think he did, except for the map tile and Ridley, but...
As far as item pickups go, it looks like I'd say he got everything. I didn't see him miss anything.
He hasn't missed any supers. I don't think he's missed any missile packs either. Well, now we see nulldriver finishing up his Brinstar cleanup here, and we see JRP rolling proverbial dice. He opts to not pick up those drops, which was a good choice, as they were both health. You don't really need health. You're looking for super drops here.
Yeah, the important thing is to have 4 super missiles, which we need for Mother Brain, but...
Yep.
Whether or not you can use super... Oh, dang.
Tons of drops there. Very nice.
Yeah, so ideally you want to get a lot of super drops so you can use the supers in the Metroids as well, because it's definitely faster than 5 normal missiles, which we have to use otherwise.
Absolutely. JRP looks like he's... okay. Getting some phenomenally good super drops over here.
I'm jealous of these drops.
Man, these drops are unreal. Usually at this point you're going to be using missile, but JRP still has a full complement of supers coming into this room, which is incredible. Oh, gets a really slightly unfortunate pattern with that Metroid, but...
Oh, and the supers dried up.
He's only got 1 left for this room, but... So we're seeing him switch to missiles here, but that's honestly not a big deal. He's got tons of missiles, tons of health, and ooh, that was a close one.
Oh, he's in very good shape going into Mother Brain Room.
Yeah. The game gives you Varia suit when you get Gravity suit after this section, so that's why we don't pick it up. JRP coming into the Zeb room, opting not to do Zebetite skip, which is not surprising, again, considering it's pretty much a task-only thing. Now he's going to be dumping 20 missiles into the glass, and then he's going to be jumping into the safe spot and just shooting his 4 missiles in the super. Yeah, it looks like if JRP has no trouble, now we'll see.
Yep. What you wrote.
Yep. We'll see how good. Ooh, nulldriver gets a super drop. I'll get back for it. JRP doing his escape.
And he takes a bit of a tumble, but no big deal.
There, nulldriver opting to play it a little bit safer with the Metroids here. I can't say I really blame him.
Getting grabbed is definitely something you want to avoid.
Yeah, you're really not at risk of dying, but getting grabbed is really pretty slow, so don't want to avoid that.
And it's also pretty easy to if you drop multiple bombs, it's easy to accidentally knock yourself back into a Metroid, which is extra annoying because the bombs are just enormous blast radius in this game.
No, the game like legitimately gives you Varia's suit. If you have it or don't have it, the game just gives it to you when you get Gravity Suit. So,
yeah.
Nulldriver, yeah, okay, he gets that one. Thought he was gonna skip it, but yeah.
Nulldriver also having a pretty good Turian as JRP gets ready to move on into the joy that is suitless.
Yeah. Nulldriver had a pretty solid Turian, but it's hard to compete against the drops that JRP got. JRP is gonna make a massive amount of time.
Null's super drops were pretty good though, because he managed to take out his last two Metroids supers and still have the 4 he needs. So
yeah, he was using some missiles in the previous room. So, not quite on the same level as JRP's drops. Both runners got extremely nice drops in Torian. So, we'll see Nulldriver doing his Mother Brain fight, taking a bit of a dump into the lava there. Playing it a little safe with the screw attack around these turrets and at the Zephyrs that break goes. JRP is going to be starting his Suitless here. Suitless, I think Suitless is one of the more fun sections of the run, just because it's just pretty much pure platforming.
Yeah, it's all movement based, which is pretty fun when you get it running really smoothly. Just a sequence of wall jumps and crawls and everything like that.
Yeah, exactly.
And JRP is coming up on the most important skip in the entire run.
Yep. If you miss this skip, then you will actually be kicked off the Discord. JRP is not getting kicked off the Discord today. We don't actually kick people off the Discord, it's just the map of shame, because it's shameful to get it. JRP opting to take the refill, not opting to save. Pretty standard race decision. Not freezing the pirate. That might cause him some trouble, we'll be seeing. Nope, looks like he's alright. No. You won't be seeing perfect stealth here, because it's slower, but we'll be going.
Let's see if we can skip the laser here.
Looks like
nails it.
No trouble. That's not a particularly difficult skip once you get used to it. There's not really any one trick that's incredibly difficult in Suitless. JRP dropping down through the crumble blocks, unfortunately.
Although it's definitely the spot that new runners who have trouble with wall jumps start to loathe with every fiber of their being, because you'll do a lot of single wall jumps during this section.
Yep, Suitless is filled with lots of tight wall jumping. So we'll be seeing JRPA coming up to one of many single wall jumps here, as he takes a nice little shortcut. Saves several rooms there. And
jump extend to skip that ledge grab too.
Yep. And Metroid can in fact crawl in this game. Let's see if JRP goes for fast searchlights here. Nope, he's playing it safe. I can't blame him for that either. Fast searchlights is a fairly precise trick that can cost you, I forget how much, I think it costs you like 4 or 5 seconds if you miss it.
Yeah, it's really not worth it in a race.
Yeah, I mean, it's not actually too bad once you get the hang of it, but still, it's precise and it's not something you would necessarily want to do in a race. JRP gets detected, but that's not a big deal here, it doesn't matter at all.
This is one of the spots where it's totally not a big deal to get detected.
So, now see JRP taking advantage of another shortcut here.
Ooh.
Nulldriver skips the map.
He manages to skip it.
He's also healing, which is, again, not a surprising thing in a race. So JRP is making his way into the ruins.
coming up to another sequence of a single wall jumps, and this time,
and JRP
dropping it here can lead to getting the alarm triggered, which means you have to take the long way around, but JRP avoids it.
Yep, JRP's through there, no problem. Let's see, nulldriver coming up on tripwire skip here. See if we can do that.
Oh,
not
doesn't
quite
get it.
That's unfortunate. We'll see what strategy he adopts for turning off the lights. JRP's coming up on Sam strat here, where he's freeze the pirate. And nulldriver's going to turn the light off, turn those lights off right here.
Tripwire skip is not a super costly thing to miss, though, compared to some of the other things you can drop in. Super
JRP misses Sam strat, which is going to cost him... It's hard to say how much. I think it's somewhere in the vicinity of a single second. So he's going to be totally fine because all he has to do is just fucking do the save room. Because missing Sam strat is not a big deal at all. So now we see nulldriver taking advantage of the well-placed shortcuts in the pirate mothership. Why do the pirates fill their ships with morph ball tunnels? We don't know. Because they usually have trouble fitting into them.
Let's see if Null decides to go for fast searchlights. He does not.
Not surprising. JRP's in the last detected segment here. So this room right here can be really tricky. So let's see if JRP handles this room properly. There's a lot of really subtle things going on here. You have to make sure that you're holding left for the entire duration of the room. If at any point you press right, you're going to be in a very low position. JRP messes up the first. Messed up 2 checkerboard patterns. That's really bad. That's going to cost him style points.
Ooh.
And nulldriver coming into the ruins as well. Looks like he had a mostly solid mothership. JRP gonna be watching a cinematic here.
Good chance to stretch his hands a little bit while we wait for the boss affectionately known as Charlie to appear.
Good chance to post Magoo in chat. Because it's always a good chance to post Magoo in chat. Nulldriver gonna be coming up on Sam strat in a little bit. And look at that. The Magoo posts show up in chat. See if nulldriver sets up for Sam strat here. Looks like he was a little slow on freezing that first pirate, so he may not get it. But oh, he got that! Whew, that was close.
Nice.
Let's see how Charlie treats JRP here. He's going to be doing some damage boost strats to try and speed the patterns up. Very quick second pattern.
The important thing to note here is that if you stop moving, Charlie will shoot lightning at you.
Yep, that's why you see JRP kind of spazzing out a bit. Not a very good third pattern. It was pretty slow. And the fourth pattern's okay. So not a terribly bad Charlie. I guess that's pretty much about what you would expect. JRP gets the most important glitch of the game, so that earns him some of the style points he lost earlier.
He's still at a net loss. We'll see if he can gain some of them back during cleanup.
Yep. Cleanup does have some fairly tricky spots. We're going to be getting right into it with cleanup. Like, the very first thing you do once you get this fully powered suit is it's definitely in the top 2 or 3 most stressful tricks of cleanup.
It is an extremely annoying sequence of shine sparks, and we'll see how JRP handles it.
I wouldn't expect JRP to have any issues with it, but it's not unheard of for even top runners to mess this trick up. So we're going to be getting the super pack here, and then looks like JRP is gonna, he dropped a few space jumps there, so he takes it safe and recharges. Really can't blame him for that decision. Gets the...
So far, so good.
Yep, nulldriver coming up to Charlie. See how good the patterns treat him. JRP gets that full shine spark chain, no trouble.
Making it look easy, and believe you me, that is not an easy thing to learn.
It's not the easy. Oh, JRP, this is his shine spark. That's okay. That's not the end of the world. nulldriver enjoying the cinematics. JRP grabbing the super missile tank. Looks like he almost looked like he forgot it there, but he doesn't.
Yeah, there really wasn't too much change in the distance between them during Suitless, but now that JRP is in cleanup and Null's going to be there soon, that's where we're really going to start seeing the possibility of nulldriver possibly catching up.
Yeah, nulldriver getting a very slow pattern the first time. Hopefully that doesn't continue happening. Not a particularly fast second pattern either. Third pattern. Oh, he misses the shot. So that's unfortunate for him. But hopefully we'll be seeing.
Oh, this is another shot.
Got the pattern, but it was not in a good spot. Okay, there we go.
He gets it, finishes the fight.
That's not something you want to see. JRP nearly getting shot out of his speed, out of his shine spark there. Nulldriver also getting glitch, earning him a fair few style points as well.
Alright, and we mentioned earlier, but take a look at nulldriver's screen here. You'll see under suit that it shows that he has Varia. The game just gives it to you. That's why we didn't grab it earlier.
Exactly. And, you know, the only single reason to grab Varia in any given Metroid game is because it looks cool. And in this game, it doesn't look cool.
He doesn't even give you the shoulder pads. What's the point?
Exactly. Like, if it looked like that, you know, I'd pick that up every time. I don't care if it's slow, but...
Varia super sent every run.
Yeah, exactly. But, you know, all it is the same, like, weenie suit. Just, you know, orange instead of yellow. So now we'll see nulldriver going up on the long shine spark chain. And we'll see if he handles it just fine. Looks like he's in. Oh no!
Oh, no!
Drops a space jump right at the end. JRP making his way through the work bot.
It's definitely possible to make it all the way up to the highest platform on one.
Yep,
we see nulldriver doing it's a lot tighter.
Oh, and he bumps right into the wall. That is unfortunate. JRP did not do the charge beam strat, so he has to blow up an extra block there with his bombs. If you kill the pirate with screw attack and then use a charged shot, then you can break that last shootable block. So nulldriver. Oh man, nulldriver is not having a great time with this trick here. But again, this is one of the harder tricks in the run.
This is definitely the race nightmare. Dropping this particular chain multiple times is something that people have nightmares about before their races.
Yeah, I was very worried about. I wasn't actually too worried about this chain during my race. JRP opting not to blow up this shootable block with a beam, so he has to bomb it. Nulldriver's finally got his energy tank, so.
And JRP picking up the power bombs.
Yep, the only purpose of the power bomb in this game. Actually, no, that's not true. In this game, power bombs enable you to get back to do cleanup. But other than that, the only purpose of power bombs is to get more power bombs.
Yep. Unlike Fusion, you get a lot fewer of them per pack, so power bomb management is going to be the big important thing for a good chunk of cleanup.
Well, no, Fusion gives you 2 per pack as well. It's just that Fusion doesn't count major items as a percentage, and it stacks all missiles in one category.
Yeah.
So it just to get 100% in Fusion, they just threw a bunch of power bomb tanks around. But power bomb management, exactly. Power bomb management is a very, very important part of 100%. See JRP playing it a bit safe with the work bot there. And yeah, there are several items in this game that require tricks to get, especially compared to, say, Super Metroid. JRP coming up to the work bot room to see how he handles this one. He's good.
Okay, good.
I was a little worried for him there, but.
Yeah, because if you're not careful, that robot will start walking back to the right, and then you just have to wait for it to walk back to the left, and you lose a lot of time.
Yeah, exactly. So now we'll see JRP coming up to the necessary refill. So yeah, he's going to be refilling here for a few power bombs, which he's going to be using pretty immediately. We'll be seeing both of these runners go for glass tubes, so
there's usually really nothing wasted for attempting Blast Tube, because if you fail, you can always get that backup pack of power bombs. But
yeah, I mean, if you miss Blast Tube, you do lose real time. But
yeah. There's usually nothing. I mean, you might as well try, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't expect that we'll see either of these two runners have much issues with Blast Tube. JRP sets up for it. Looks like he's good.
Yeah, it seems he's in good shape.
JRP opts to play it a little safe here, which I can't blame him for doing in a race. And I see Wild Anaconda laughing at me for comparing Zero Mission to Super Metroid. Which, I mean, it's not the... There's really not too much to compare between the speedruns and the two games, honestly. Which they play just so differently. So now we're going to see JRP playing the lottery here. He's going to be hoping for a power bomb drop. It looks like he has one more chance, but he does not get it. So we're going to be seeing another long Shine Spark chain from JRP here. And he's slightly misplaces his bottom there. So now we'll be seeing nulldriver picking up his power bombs.
Yeah, that JRP's gonna have much trouble with that chain of Shine Sparks anyway. He's just been killing it with those this run.
Yeah, JRP's play has, for the most part, been very solid this run. Been a few issues in Kraid, but after that, nothing too bad. So we'll see him try to keep this. Oh, he pulls a Ross and spin jumps instead of Shine Sparks to the side. No. That does cost him a fair bit of time, unfortunately. But at least he was still in this room, so it's not nearly as bad as it could be. Like, dropping this Shine Spark chain at any point before... Oh, nulldriver just misplaces his power bomb and has to use both of them. So now we'll see him... Now we see him having a bit of indecisiveness about what to do next.
Might take an extra refill.
Yeah, he's going to be unable to take the shortcut here. So... We see JRP getting through the Shine Spark chain, no issues. Nulldriver, we'll be seeing him take the long way around.
Ooh, that's going to cost him.
That is going to cost him a fairly significant amount of time here, because he's going to have to go through the work robot. He's going to have a bunch of extra door transitions.
And this is why we say that powerbomb management is one of the most important parts of this cleanup, because you run out of... You get 0 power bombs and you need to have one, it'll really cost you a lot.
We see him going to the landing site. This is maybe not exactly how I would have handled it, but this is actually the only way to get there, so I guess it is how I would have handled it. We see JRP going for a Torian Space Boost here. He's going to want to get through these blocks right here. He's through it, no problem. Driver's got the super missile pack, and he's gonna opt to get that super pack drain on his way back to Mecha Ridley, which is perfectly legitimate, as you're gonna go right through that room again anyway. So that was a very unfortunate loss for nulldriver there with the power bomb. So we see JRP kind of forgetting to lay his power bomb a little earlier there, it seems, costing him, a couple seconds, but not a big deal. Actually, maybe but
moments away from re-entering Kraid to start the cleanup in there. Get the last, was it 3 items?
Yeah, I think there are 3 items to pick up in Kraid. Nulldriver setting up for Blast Tube. Oh, he does not get Blast Tube. Oh no.
So he's getting that power bomb tank early.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to be reverting. Oh, and this is the Shine Spark as well.
Oh no!
Thanks. Nulldriver, that power bomb probably got to him a little bit. That's a very unfortunate mistake. So now JRP going through Kraid cleanup. This is the one item you can't get in Kraid your first time through. You need Gravity Suit for that. So I think, I'm not sure what we'll be seeing from nulldriver here. He's either going to get the missile tank the intended way. Nope, it looks like he's going to be going for the older cleanup. So,
he's get that powerbomb tank. Not powerbomb, the super missiles.
Yes, that's how old route cleanup works, if I remember properly, because you loop back through here.
Okay. Yeah, for me, that's completely just mystery. That's all you then.
Yep, that's old route cleanup hasn't been popular for a fair while, ever since the switch from primarily in-game time to primarily real-time. But you can see nulldriver making use of his extra power bombs to skip this gigantic super missile tank. JRP skillfully navigating the Ross room. Nulldriver going to be clearing out those blocks and coming for the diagonal spark here. Looks like he's in good position. JRP getting the early powerbomb tank. Called the early powerbomb tank because it's the only powerbomb tank it's possible to get before entering Suitless. Although it's not actually useful because you have to perform a glitch that kills you immediately after you get the powerbombs. Nulldriver gets these space boost strats. And we'll see JRP probably go for the Shine Spark strat here. It's entirely possible to space boost across this room, and it does save about 3 seconds or so. But in a race, it's a very risky proposition, so I'm not surprised JRP didn't go for it. I'm not sure if he knows how far ahead he is or not. I would imagine not. He grabs the super missile tank his first way through. It's a little unorthodox, but it will work just fine. The more traditional method is to grab it while space boosting out. But JRP opts for the Shine Spark. It's actually not something I expected to see from him.
Space for the Korean space boost there, and
gets it, no problem. Space boosting just refers to doing space jumps while speed boosting. And JRP going for the super swaggy reverse Norfair space boost, tries to save about half a second there and loses maybe 5 or 10 or so. But that's perfectly alright because his lead is
pretty commanding at this point.
Yeah, that's a very, very commanding lead. Blasts right through the giant side hoppers, no problem.
Yeah, I guess anyone's wondering, the reason you'd want to do a space boost instead of a Shine Spark is because the startup and the bonk animations for Shine Sparking, you don't have those in the space boost, so you save a little bit of time if you opt to space boost in certain cases.
Yep. And especially in Norfair, you save a bit on walking as well with the space boost. So we see JRP getting the second to last missile tank in Norfair, and we see nulldriver coming back into Kraid. And now we'll see JRP going for the tutorial spark, because this ball spark's actually shown in the little intro cinematic of the game.
And it looks very cool, let's be honest.
It's pretty neat. It is a very neat Shine Spark. Yep. JRP gets it, no problem. So we'll see JRP going for the miniature Norfair space boost here. And he looks pretty good. Yep. That one's not nearly as important as the actual Norfair space boost. But still, it's a nice small little time slip to get. So, fairly clean up for JRP so far. And then nulldriver opting to grab these. I didn't actually see if JRP grabbed these, now that I think about it. I'm assuming he did. Like,
I certainly hope so. We'll know when he gets to 10.
Yep. Well, we will know for sure when he gets to the... You know, I haven't heard too many people refer to him as Iron Ted in a while. Yeah, everyone... I hear Mecha Ridley a lot nowadays, and it makes me a little sad.
I call him Iron Ted all the time. I think my friends don't actually know who I'm talking about when they talk about it.
Nulldriver making his way through the Ross room. JRP making his way back into Chozodia. Or as some people refer to it, Kazudia.
Who the heck are those people?
I can't remember. I want to say it was Boxmeister during his commentary for the Any Percent tournament. But it's kind of a funny little thing. But I don't laugh at him too much because I don't think English is his first language. And his English is a heck of a lot better than my Dutch. So we'll probably see nulldriver going for the Shine Spark strats as well. JRP going to...
looks to be fine. Yep, he's high enough.
JRP going for the single most out-of-the-way item in the game. Takes about 3 minutes there and back to go get a single powerbomb tank.
And this is often the one that you miss when you see 99% instead of 100 at your finish screen.
Yeah, this is... I don't know, I never worry about forgetting this item because it's so out of the way. It's ridiculous. I know it's ridiculously out of the way, so I know if I didn't more or less waste 3 minutes that I've done something horribly wrong. I worry most about forgetting the items actually near the start of where Suitless is. So now we'll see nulldriver probably take the Shine Spark back through this room. It's only about half a second slower. So JRP clears out the blocks just fine. Doesn't repeat one of his recent PB attempts. He was ahead by, I can't remember how much, 20, 30 seconds, I think. And then he didn't place that powerbomb in the right spot, so he ran out.
And because if you ran out of powerbombs there, you have to run quite a ways back to refill, so...
Yep, that's... Because he grabbed that extra powerbomb pack earlier, nulldriver shouldn't have to worry about that.
Yeah, because the Space Pirates aren't nice enough to drop items like pretty much every other enemy in the game.
Yep, Space Pirates do not drop items in this game. So we see JRP making his way back towards everything else. Typical time in this game, fairly... I don't know, I think a fairly average time is like 1:16. When you hit 1:16, that's when you're starting to get pretty good at the game.
Incidentally, I am nowhere near 1:16, so...
Some people have different standards. Like if you ask, say, Sam the Digital about what's a good time, he'll probably tell you 1:11, even though literally one person has a 1:11. And JRP gets sniped out of his Shine Spark because he hesitated a bit there.
Space Pirate says no.
Nope.
Nulldriver missing the mini Norfair Spark, but...
That's okay, that's not a big deal here.
Yeah, it's not super costly.
So, now we'll be seeing nulldriver take a slightly different route through this area than JRP did, because nulldriver is going to be doing the old style cleanup. So we'll be seeing him. I think we might see him try to space boost through this area. Yep. Oh, box. Unfortunate. Blue suit. Unfortunately, there is no blue suit in this game. Speed booster in this game is, of all the Metroid games with speed booster, I think this infusion is the least interesting. So now we're gonna see nulldriver heading up towards the out-of-the-way powerbomb.
Yeah, unfortunately, unlike Super Metroid, since this is a GBA game, only has 2 buttons, there is no dedicated run button, so you can't do and all the interesting fun things you can do with the Super Metroid Speed Booster.
Yep, no short charging, no mockballing, none of that. Nulldriver having a little bit of trouble there, getting jostled around by the pirates. Let's see if JRP skips the map the second time. Yep, looks good. JRP does not get the map.
Let's keep his moderator spot for another day.
Yep. So now we'll be seeing him pick up. These are the items that I tend to forget when I forget items. These 2 down here. So now we see JRP having 99% right now. Looks like he's got all the supers. I believe he's...
I saw him pick up pretty much every powerbomb as well. I don't think he missed.
Yeah, I don't think he missed anything either. The only thing I'm not sure about is that crate missile, but I find it very hard to believe that he would miss that. And I still see a reference to the joke about someone missing a map tile. Really, that is entirely unimportant for the set.
You mean this isn't 100% map completion?
This is not 100% map completion. So there are, in fact, quite a fair number of map tiles that go unfilled. JRP making use of a power bomb here.
And nulldriver picking up that out-of-the-way power bomb.
Yep. So now we're going to be seeing nulldriver make his way back through Criteria to pick up a missile pack there, and then he's going to come back through lower Chozodia to pick up the last 2B tank. While JRP is going to be making his way to the last item in the game.
Let's see if he's going to go for the space jump strats like he was practicing before the race.
Given how he's been playing, I don't hugely expect him to, because he's been playing it a little safer. We saw him practicing the. Ooh. That's unfortunate, but you know his lead is towering at this point. Is short of a hardware failure. I don't see how nulldriver can come back from this. Unfortunately, yeah, JRP playing it safe with the Shine Spark.
And that's the final item.
Yep, JRP should have 100% at this point.
We'll know in a second when we get to Iron Ted.
Yep.
Yeah, the thing about Iron Ted, which is Mecha Ridley as affectionately referred to him, is that he's actually more challenging if you have 100% of items.
Yep,
90% only takes 6 supers to take him out, but...
Yep, I believe he gains 3x health and 2x damage, if I remember correctly. JRP practicing his horizontal bomb jumping. Not getting very far with it. Good thing he didn't try that route. So we'll see how he handles Mecha Ridley here. He doesn't get the best pattern.
We can confirm that he has 100% of items because Mecha Ridley would have been dead otherwise.
JRP does in fact have 100%, so barring some sort of hardware-related catastrophe. Oh, he runs out of supers. That's unfortunate.
But
that's okay. That's not the worst thing in the world. But now we see nulldriver going to be making his way down through the lower part of the ship and then up towards Mecha Ridley.
And here we come on to the final countdown.
JRP misses the door bomb. That's a serious time loss right there. I don't know if he can come back from that one. He lost maybe like 2 frames. I'm not sure he's going to be able to recover this round.
More importantly, he lost so many style points, he's going to have to nail that for the next 5 races in order to make him up.
Yeah, exactly. That's going to put him hugely in the red as far as style points are concerned. So, run is still not over on JRP's side. He still has one more trick he needs to do, and that's the Shine Break. Which, Shine Break, not nearly as scary of a trick as it used to be. Because the original strat involved breaking the first block and sparking and storing your Shine Spark right on the edge, and it was about a 2-frame window to do properly. But the method we see JRP employing here is up to 4 frames, so pretty much free. And we see JRP setting up for Escape Spark here. Yeah, he's got it. Nulldriver's got the last super missile tank.
Your final room, 2 black pirates, the only thing standing between JRP and being ready to done. So,
yep. The only thing standing between JRP and a glorious 114, like 15, 16.
And JRP finishes with a SRL time of 1:14:18.
Alright, that's, as you can see from his comments, not particularly happy with that time. He seems to be, but that's all right. That's for a race. That's really not a bad time to have whatsoever.
I'd like to have that time in a race.
Yeah, JRP has some high standards for himself, so not hugely surprising there. Obviously, nulldriver picking up the super missile that he missed earlier.
All right, we want to pull JRP in here and talk to him a bit.
Yeah, if JRP wants to come in here, we can ask him what his thoughts on the run and all that. So now,
I see him in general, but I can't drag him down here.
yep, we see nulldriver making his way up towards the last item of the game. I imagine we'll be seeing him handle it in much the same way that JRP handled it. So now, we're going to be just seeing nulldriver. He doesn't have a power bomb here, so he can't blow out those blocks, which is unfortunate. And he also forgot to kill the pirate and turn off the alarm. So
now he sets up speed trying to get that final energy tank, and
looks like he also doesn't quite.
It's a little bit too late there. Looks like.
Yeah. Or not holding left the whole time. And looks like he thought about space jump E-tank, but
the thing about space jumping there is that if you do set off the alarm, you have to leave.
Really low.
Oh no!
That's unfortunate.
Oh.
That's a very unfortunate error to get there. You take all the time to set it up, and you still run right into the laser. That's a very costly error.
Yeah, because killing the pirates does not reset that alarm. You actually have to leave the room entirely. Then you have to do break those blocks again.
Yep. I am a little surprised we didn't see nulldriver at least attempt a space jump tank. Usually, a lot of runners, when the run is otherwise dead, they'll just go for it. But
might as well get some swag points out of it.
Yeah, exactly. If you can't gain in the time department, may as well gain in the style points department.
May not be first place in the race, but first place in our hearts.
Exactly. So now we'll be confirming that nulldriver has 100%. I think he does. I don't think he missed any items.
Yeah, unless he did something wacky during that old style cleanup, which that would be more in your wheelhouse than mine.
I didn't see him do anything. I did not see him do anything too fancy. And yep, nulldriver's got 100%. Gives a much nicer Mecha Ridley pattern than JRP had. JRP
and
his cat.
See some Magoos in chat.
Yep, now it's time to post Magoo. And he's probably wants to hide that in-game time. Nulldriver kind of jumping around up top there.
And we have JRP in here, but he can't talk because he's holding a cat.
Hello.
Oh, hello, JRP. Congratulations on that win.
Thank you.
What were your thoughts on the run, JRP?
It was just bad.
How did I know you were going to say that?
Oh, I was rusty because I was practicing Super Metroid. And I'm like, oh, I gotta do Zero Mission, that's right.
Nulldriver expecting to break those powerbomb blocks, but he didn't, so he kind of tripped up a little bit there. So, I don't think you had too many major mistakes in that run, JRP. It seemed relatively smooth. And nice new background music, courtesy of JRP. Now we see nulldriver setting up for the shine break. Looks like he's in a good spot there, and he gets it without too much trouble. So looks like we should be getting, nulldriver getting the escape spark.
Yeah, nulldriver just moments away from finishing as well.
Yep, looks like we should be getting like a 119.40, 45-ish from nulldriver, depending on the Black Pirates. Ooh, misses his charged shot. That's not ideal. And we're going to be seeing nulldriver finish with an SRL time of 119.40. So that's
a bit over 5 minutes apart.
Yeah, nulldriver had some really unfortunate mistakes in that run. That is probably not something he's incredibly happy about. I wonder if we can get him in here. I don't see him anywhere.
He's just not on one of the voice channels, so we can't.
Oh, there we go. Yep, we got him in here. Looks like we'll be getting nulldriver in here in just a second. I can't move him down, so. Oh, I can. Oh, nulldriver.
Hello there.
That was a lot of spaghetti.
All right. Well, I was going to ask you what your thoughts on the run were, but beat me to it.
I guess the bad RNG made me tilt after Suitless.
Yeah, it looked like you were kind of flustered a little bit after that Shine Spark chain.
I guess I got to show off the old route. There's something.
Yeah, that was pretty neat to see the old cleanup route. It's not something too many people see anymore.
I don't think I've ever seen that before in a race, so that was definitely cool to see.
I kind of forgot how it went, to be honest. So.
Well, I never went in going in to win.
Oh well.
So congrats, JRP.
Thank you.
JRP faring only slightly better in rock and roll racing. Alright, so now let me check the bracket real quick.
Right here.
Alright, so it looks like JRP will be facing the winner of Paulsmore and C. Scotty W, which I'm gonna go out on a limb and guess is Paulsmore.
Yeah, it looks like
Paulsmore I'm gonna lose, like regardless of what I do.
But hey, you made it through the first round of this tournament, JRP. How do you feel?
Well, at least it's a better start than every single other tournament.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm surprised that your hardware made it through the entire race.
Yeah, I think my last tournament match I forfeited because I think I had a power surge, and because my GBA was connected to the wall socket, it sent the reset command to the GameCube.
What?
The most unlikely thing to ever happen.
Yep. Alright, so, and then nulldriver, looks like you'll be facing off against the loser of
my match, as it turns out.
Yep, Crunchy and Laser Trap.
Hope things go better.
Well, on the upside, probably nowhere to go but up from that one, unfortunately. Not to be like, mean, but
I was trying to maintain a positive attitude. That's how they say it, right?
Yes. But all right. So that's where we're going. I don't actually know much about Crunchy or Laser Trap, as I haven't seen either of them play. But
any percentage usually where I hang out, so I'm learned and continue to learn 100% for this tournament. So expect no miracles.
Yep. And
that's all I gotta say.
And I've seen both Scotty and Paulsmore play fairly frequently. I fully expect Paulsmore to win that match, but Scotty's also a pretty strong player, so.
Yeah, Paul's usually does really well in these tournaments.
Yeah, but I have raced Paulsmore a bit in recent weeks. There have been a couple of unfortunate incidents for him related to forgetting items, so yeah, something weird like that happens could throw the match in Scotty's favor.
Well, that's interesting. 100%. There's a lot of stuff you have to remember. There's a lot of tricks that are challenging, even for experienced runners. So anything can happen, even when you think you know how it's going to end.
Yeah, exactly. There's plenty of things that can go wrong in 100%. So now I'm actually very surprised that the restream is streaming JRP's Barbie game.
Well, to be fair, it's way forward since Barbie, and it's probably better than the Barbie game you'd expect.
All right. I don't remember the schedule command. I was going to pull up the schedule. Oh, there it is. It's just right there. Hold on. Let's see. See if we have anything else for tonight. I don't know if we do. No, it doesn't look like there's anything. Doesn't look like we have anything left today.
Yeah, there's no more Zero mission today, but if I'm not mistaken, we're going to have our next one on Friday, which is Mobius Man versus Axodo.
Yeah, Mobius Man and Exodo will be a pretty good match.
Axodo, there we go.
Yep, I'm thinking that match is probably like 70-30 in Mobius Man's favor, but Exodo is also a very good player, so I could very much see Exodo winning that match.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then next, looks like the next event for speed gaming is Link to the Past randomizer at 6:30 tomorrow, and that'll be
continuing to be a very popular series of races.
Oh, for sure. And it looks like that'll be continuing until like midnight or so. So tune in tomorrow night for more Link to the Past randomizer. Friday will be Friday there'll be more Zero missions, some Ori, some Mega Man X2.
Oh, X2's still going on. That's cool.
Bunch of good stuff on Friday. So you can tune in to see all that. And I think that's really all we have here as far as Zero mission is concerned. Unless JRP or nulldriver wants to say something. Or Crunchy.
Not really.
Yeah, JRP really enjoying.
Oh, I do.
Barbie.
Yes, I do. Magoo.
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 Magoo, indeed.
I'm seeing a sorrowful lack of Magoos in chat right now, as it turns out.
There was a good amount of Magoo in chat. I was pleased with the amount of Magoo. Could there have been more? Yes, but there we go. All right. I think we are done here as far as Zero Mission 100% goes. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thank you very much. As always, thanks to Feasel for helping us put this on, because we wouldn't be able to do this without him.
Big thanks to Feasel and JC for organizing and running this. So, hope you guys all enjoyed watching that race, and we will see you next time.
Thanks for watching. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night. JRP, it's morning for you.
Oh yeah, good afternoon.
Close enough.
Alright. Now I'm out of here. Alright. Have a good night, everybody.
See ya.
Good night for real.